This is the classic G-Shock GE-2000 series G-Cool watch in collaboration with Italian engineering company Pininfarina. Back in the 90s, of course. This is pretty old, the watch is pretty cheap, and as you guys could see, there's a lot of use marks in the watch, and in this case the battery is running low, so I have to swap the battery on my own now. And if possible, I would like you guys to comment on what to do with the watch band. In this case, I already had a head start, so I just cut out some portion of the strap. We're gonna start from here and we are moving on to here. Now let me show you guys how to disassemble the watch. Notice that there are no screws to lock the watch bezel from the front or even from the sides, meaning everything needs to be removed from the back. So look closely, there are 3 screws that is hold a metal bar that is holding the cable that is holding the watch band of this model. Both sides goes the same. I'm gonna need to remove these screws at the center and then 2 on the sides, but in my case one of them has stuck due to rust and the head is already damaged, so I'm just gonna need to remove from one side and hopefully I could take the whole piece out as it is without damaging anything. I will do the same thing on both sides, and then I could remove this watch, I would say adapter in this case, or the lug construction, which is just made out of resin. And then by now we should be able to take the watch band out entirely. Now to remove the movement out, obviously first thing is you're gonna need to remove the 4 screws that is locking the back cover in this watch. Well, pretty much basics, like removing any screws from any screw lock G-Shock watch. Take it out and then you'll see your piezoelectric speaker in the back, and first thing is the back cushion in black colorway, and that's the O-ring next to it. Okay, just take them out, put them aside, doesn't really matter. And next thing is you're gonna need to remove the module, the engine or the movement of the watch. It's just being clipped from the bottom and also from the top, just 2 clips. But I almost forgot, I went too far. First, let's try to change the battery. Just use a needle, unclip the battery holder or the clip, and then take the older battery, plug it in a new battery, and perform AC operation using a pair of metal tweezers like so. Basically just touching the AC terminal with the back or the metal part of the battery holder, and then the watch will reset itself. And then let's see if this thing will work. Obviously seems like the EL start to lights up now, meaning no damaged parts. Okay, now let's begin with the watch movement disassembly again. Like I said, remove all 4 clips on the back using a screwdriver or a needle, and then you could take the movement out one by one layer. They are just being held by the casing of the watch. You cannot just take the movement out entirely as easily like some vintage G-Shock watch. And then you could take the I will say this thing called the electroluminescence holder panel, so there you go, and take the display panel out. Now we're going to remove the bezel. In order to remove the bezel, this is pretty tricky. You'll firstly need to remove the buttons of the watch, specifically the one button on the right side, or if you look at it from the back, that will be on your left side. So it has 3 buttons on one side, 1 button on one side. So remove that 1 button. In my case right now, you know what, I'm gonna remove all of them instead. It will be a lot easier to do, right? So just remove it. I already done a video on how to remove an E-clip of a G-Shock or Cassia watch. Check those video out to fully see how the step process is. So I'm just gonna speed up in this video to make sure, you know, to not spend too much time. Take all 4 buttons out, and this is how they look like. Different size, different shape. They are really cool design button. Once we're done removing all 4 buttons, notice there's 2 screws on the side of this bezel underneath the button, so this is pretty tricky. Just use a regular screwdriver, take both of the screws out. Now, as you guys see, nothing that is holding the bezel anymore, not even the buttons. So all I have to do is just push the casing, the black color casing of the watch or the hard case, out from the back, just like that, and then everything is already separated. We have the bezel and the casing. Put the casing away. Now let's focus on this bezel real quick. There are decorations piece at the front. It is made out of stainless steel metal. Just unfold them and take this metal piece out. 2 of them, one at the top, one at the bottom. Should be fairly easy, but just be careful not to break anything. In my case, I already break some of the flaps, so yeah, that's what it is. But hey, it won't damage or it won't affect anything. That thing will still stays in place, which is great. And then after we've done that, we could remove the center metal component, metal ring, that basically the thing that guard the crystal of the watch. So just take it out, just wiggle the bezel. It is pretty flexible. Take this piece out, just don't bend it because it is aluminum, it's pretty soft, so be very careful. And then you could just, well, separate the 2 bezel, one in cream, another one in whitish colorway. Separate them, and now everything has already been disassembled. Quick summarize before I end the video. These are a bunch of screws that we managed to pull out of this G-Shock watch. This is the display panel, the LCD. This is the circuit board. This is the EL panel compartment with the spring connectors. This here is the look of the watch, basically the part that connects these 2 watch bands. And this is the back cover with the piezoelectric speaker made out of stainless steel. This is the back cushion, O-ring. This is the battery compartment including the connector to the circuit board. This is the white bezel, the second layer. This is the first layer bezel. I cannot remove this bluish arrow though, probably they are being glued there, but that's okay. This is the metal piece that guard this mineral crystal on this G-Shock watch. At the same time also hold these 2 bezel in place. There's another 2 metal piece that lock them up as well. They are all, feels to me like a aluminum. This is the hard case of the watch, black colorway with dome-shaped mineral crystal and some lettering on it. And finally, this is the 4 buttons. This watch has proprietary body design, button design, meaning looking for parts, even trying to customize this G-Shock watch with a different casing will be incredibly hard, including on the watch band. But still, what I'm planning on doing is removing all of this leather or fabric part entirely and left with bare metal cable. And I want you guys to comment down below on how to use this, and at least try to figure out on how we could still salvage and use this to make sure the watch is still wearable. So comment down below. Regardless, I'm still gonna try removing all this fabric and we'll see how it goes from there.